A blessed day po sa ating mga kaguruan. Welcome po muli sa ating Virtual Educators Summit 2021. I am Teacher Christian at ang naka-assign pong topic sa akin sa mga pagkakataong ito ay about Gradebook. Okay, but bago po natin pag-usapan kung paano po ang magiging sistema natin sa Gradebook, ano-anong mga formulas ang gagamitin, let me tour you around first sa ating pong Gradebook. Make sure po na nakalagin po tayo at nakapunta po tayo sa ating courses. Okay po, make sure na may naka-enroll at least isang course sa ating account or sa ating user. So, the sample for today na course ay ang Untitled Gradebook. Ayan po. As you can see, dear teachers, itong course po na ito ay blanco. So, sinadya po natin na maging blanco so that when a course is assigned to you or naka-enrolled sa inyo ay isang course na walang laman, alam po natin kung paano tayo makakapag-set up. So, magsisimula po talaga tayo sa bare na course. Ang next step po natin, dito po sa ating navigation panel, kung wala po kayong makita, just click yung tatlong line. And then, makikita po natin yung navigation. So, once na-click po natin yung navigation, ayan, makikita po natin yung grades. Click po natin yung grades. And then, we have our gradebook na. So, sa ating pong gradebook, gaya po na aking sabi, itutour ko muna po kayo. So, we have view. Under view, we have the grader report. Ang grader report, ito po ay ang magsisilbing yung parang class record po ng bawat teacher. Once you open your class record, andun po, makikita na po natin lahat ng mga grades or yung records ng ating mga estudyante. And we also have the grade history and outcomes report, overview report, quiz analytics. Itong quiz analytics, wala po ito siya last year. We only have that one or this one this academic year. At dito po sa ating panibagong website. Okay? So we also have the single view. Ang makikita po natin sa single view ay report per student. So, ang gagawin lang natin dito, mamimili lang tayo ng grade item or yung quiz, for example, question 2D. And so, we have here. So, blanco siya since wala pa pong laman yung ating course. And then, we also have the user report. Itong user report, makikita po natin dito everything that is included in the course. Nandito na din po yung mga grades and such. And we also have the setup. Okay? Under setup, we have the gradebook setup, course grade settings, and we also have the preferences or grader report. So, hindi na po natin ito papakialaman tong grade settings na to because naka-default na po siya. So, ang gagawin lang po natin dito is or ang papakialaman lang po natin ay ang gradebook setup. So, we also have the scales, we also have letters, import, and export. So, there you go. Sa scales, letters, import, and export, hindi na po muna natin siya papakialaman. We will focus more on sa view and sa setup. Balik po tayo sa view. Ayan po. Yan po ang kabuuan ng laman ng ating pong gradebook. Let's click yung setup. And then we have gradebook setup. Sa ilalim, sa bandang ibaba, makikita po natin ang dalawang button which is add grade item and add category. So, ang una po natin gagawin, maglalagay tayo or mag-add tayo ng category. Click lang po natin yung add category and wait for it to load. ito po yung ating laman ng ating grade category. So, we have the first one is the category name. Once may nakita po tayong parang mark, it only means that it is a required po na i-fill out yung hinihingi niyang information. So, let's say for example, the category name, first quarter, and then the aggregation. Ang meaning ng aggregation, we have here, meaning niya, the aggregation determines how grades in a category are combined, such as mean of grades, median. So, this definition is available to everyone once you click, or kapag nandito po tayo sa gradebook, may makikita po kayong itong question mark na button or icon. Just have to click the button and ayan, ipapakita niya na po yung definition. And ayan, since wala na po tayong ibang i-click dyan, that's just natural. And then show more. So we have to check kung naka-exclude ba ang ating gradebook. Ang exclude empty grades only means that yung category na ginagawa natin is excluded doon sa magiging total ng ating grade. Ibig sabihin, ang mangyayari nito parang magiging formative assessment na lang yung category na gagawin natin. So, that will depend on dun sa mga teachers natin. So, sila ang magdi-determine which is the formative assessment and which is, formative assessment or which is, or are the summative assessments. So, teacher ang magdi-determine po nito. Let's say, this is included since it's a first quarter grade included sa atin po gradebook. So, we have here, drop the lowest. So, we can drop the lowest. Let's say, for example, out of 100, we have 75. Yun po ang ating lowest. Lagay na lang po natin ng kahit 0. Pwede na din po natin hindi po kailangan. So, para hindi na din tayo malito. And in here, sa ibaba po, scroll down lang po tayo. We have the category total. Click po natin yung show more to show what's inside. So, ayan po. We have here the category total name. So, as you can see, wala po siyang icon, no? Yung parang prompter, yung nagpo-prompt kung required ba i-fill out or hindi. So, skip lang natin yan. And we also have the grade to pass. Teacher ang magdi-determine kung anong grade ang pasado. Depende din po kasi iyon sa atin pong total ng ating grade. And grade display type, we have here, ayan, yan po ang pagpipilian, pero ang ating pong grade will be that naka-default na real. And overall decimal places, naka-default din po tayo sa 2. Okay po. And next one, we have the hidden until and the lock after. Ayan po, you just have to enable kung gusto niyo pong i-hide yung grade, pinaka-total grade ng bata for the entire quarter, for the first quarter rather. And we have the lock after. So, ilalock mo siya, yun lang yung duration from naka-hide siya until, for example, hanggang December 30, 2021, naka-hide lang siya. Pagdating ng December 30, saka lang mag-a-appear yung grade ng bata for the first quarter. And then, dito po sa lock after, for example, January 2022, 1 month lang yung duration ng pag-show ng grade ng bata for the first quarter. So, ayan. Pero since if we want to be transparent from the very beginning, from the start, pwede din naman natin siyang i-disable. Just hayaan lang natin na naka-disable siya or hindi naka-check yung checkbox ng hidden until and lock after. And we also have the grade type, the scale, and the maximum grade. And maximum grade natin is 100 and minimum grade natin is 0. So ayan, weight adjusted and weight. So we have here save changes. Hindi pa natin ma-edit si weight adjusted. Dito natin ilalagay yung weight ng isang grade. Let's say for example math. Ang weight ng math for the first quarter, since 4 yan, we have that ang maximum grade natin is 100, right? So we have 4 quarters. Kung hati natin siya sa 4, that's 25%. But since this is the first time na gagawin pa natin yung category, first quarter pa lang to, so it's save changes na tayo. Naka-automatic 100 po siya. So there you go. Makikita po natin sa ating gradebook setup yung yung category na ginawa po natin for the first quarter. Okay? Now, same procedure po sa ating second quarter, third quarter, and fourth quarter. Add lang po tayo ng category. Click add category. And say for example, second quarter. Same procedure. Ayan po. And as you can see, kung mapapansin po natin dito, dear teachers, we have additional feature for our category, which is the parent category. So we have here weight adjusted. Once na-enable po natin ang weight adjusted, we can edit the weight of this category rather. So we have here 25. Let's say for example, category niya is Gradebook. So do not click the first quarter. Save changes. And there you go. We have our second quarter. For the third quarter and fourth quarter, edit na po natin. Add category. Third quarter. Ayan. Parent category. Click weight adjusted. And we have 25. And Gradebook. Diretso na po tayo sa parent category. We also have 25. Click Save Changes. Then edit po natin to. Clear po natin 25. And there you go. So we have our first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and lastly, fourth quarter. Once na may content or may laman na po ang ating course, say for example, may quiz na, may activities na, say for example, may summative test, may formative tests. So, automatic po na magkakaroon po ng laman ito pong ating gradebook setup. Now, ang gagawin lang po natin once na nagkaroon ng laman is ilalagay lang po natin yung ating or ililipat lang po natin ang ating mga quizzes. For example, ang quiz 1 ay belong or under first quarter. So, idadrag lang po natin. Ang pag-drag, let's say for example, ito po. Yan, may makikita po tayong arrow. Ayan po. Kapag under po siya ng first quarter, ayan, say for example, i-click lang po natin yung ating grade item. Since wala pa po tayong laman, let's say for example, cancel lang po muna. Ang ating pong gagawin is add grade item at ipapakita ko po sa inyo later on kung paano po ililipat yung ating quizzes or mga tests or activities nakapaloob po sa ating course. Click Add Grade Item, and we have the item name. So it is important to have the name of our item para alam po natin kung ano po ang laman ng ating grade item. Let's say for example, summative test number 1. So we have here, so skip lang po natin yan, and we have the parent category and weight adjusted. Let's say for example, ang weight ng out of 10 quizzes, for example summative test, out of 10, this is 10 lang yung ang weight ng quiz po na ito. And since since this is the first quiz or grade item na gagawin natin, this will be automatic 100. Okay po. And grade category. So ang grade category natin dito magde-determine kung saan po na dapat under yung grade item natin. For example, first quarter. Kapag i-click po natin si first quarter, ibig sabihin, si summative test number 1 is under first quarter. So, automatic, pag ang grade category natin for this grade item ay first quarter, automatic yung summative test po natin ay under or mabibilong sa ating first quarter. Okay? Just click Save Changes. And there you go. So, under first quarter, kung mapapansin po natin, makikita po natin under ng first quarter ay ang ating summative test number 1. At ang weight po niya ay 100. So, naka-automatic po siya. And let's say, for example, add po tayo ng panibago. Summative test number 2. Ayan. Skip lang po natin. Direct po tayo doon sa parent category. Okay, weight adjusted. So, the second time around, nagagawa po tayo ng ating grade item. Pwede na din po natin hindi i-edit si weight adjusted when it comes to grade item because automatic na nade-delegate or nasi-share or nahahati yung ating grade item, yung weight rather ng ating grade item. Since this is summative test number 2, we have the grade category. Let's say for example, hindi na under siya ng first quarter, pero hindi muna natin siya ilalagay sa first quarter. Just for the sake na makita natin what will happen kapag ang grade category natin ay nasa main. Ito po kasi ang ating main grade po. Yung pinaka-name po ng ating course. Let's click Save Changes. And then, makikita po natin yung ating grade item sa pinakababa po ng ating gradebook setup. There you go. So, ito po yung ating summative test number 2. Let's say for example, may laman na po ang ating course at ganito po ang nangyari. Gusto natin si summative test number 2 ay ililipat natin under first quarter. Gaya po ng aking sabi kanina, click lang po natin itong arrow na po ito, and then may makikita po tayong prompter na move. Kapag na-click po natin yan, wait lang po natin mag-load. Ayan po, may makikita po tayong drop zone. Ito pong rectangle na made of broken lines. So, once ang ating mouse or yung ating mouse icon ay tinapat natin doon sa ating drop zone, makikita po natin ang isang prompter na move to here. Or yung parang dialog box. Yan. Ibig sabihin, pag na-click po natin yan, dyan sa drop zone na yan, dyan po pupunta yung ating summative test number 2. And since we want it to be under first quarter, ayan, so we have here our summative test number 1. Under ng summative test number 1 ay ang summative test number 2. Dito po natin siya ilalagay. Okay? So, click lang po natin. Ito po yung kapantay niya. Once na-click po natin, wait lang po natin mag-load, and there you go. We have here the summative test number 1 and number 2. Under na po siya ng ating first quarter. In any case na encounter natin yung ganitong situation na sabi ko kanina, it should be na-distribute na siya or na-delegate na yung weight natin automatically. That applies only kapag ang ating activity prior sa paggawa natin or pagse-set up natin ng ating gradebook. And since wala pa po, ito po ay ating lalagyan. So, this one is 100. Since dalawa lang po, out of 100, hati po equal. Ayan, na-edit na po natin and then enter lang po. Click enter po sa ating mga keyboards. And there you go. Meron na po tayong 50 for the first summative test and another 50 for the second summative test. So, ayan po. Once na uncheck po natin ito, ibig sabihin, you cannot edit this field. Itong field po na ito, hindi po natin pwede i-edit. As you can see, ayan, hindi po natin, kahit i-click po natin, hindi po natin ma-edit. Unless, i-check po natin yung checkbox, click po natin yung checkbox, saka lang po natin ma-edit yung field ng weights. Okay po. That's all sa ating setting up of our gradebook. So the following quizzes or grade item, yung mga categories na gusto natin i-include sa ating what you call this, ating gradebook, pwede na po natin siyang ilagay as grade item. Kasi for example, we have recitation. Kung may recitation po tayo, pwede po natin gawa ng grade item. Then, under, move na lang po natin kung sa anong quarter po siya belong. Punta po tayo sa view. Ito po, makikita po natin dito ang ating grader report. Gaya po ng sabi ko kanina sa ating tour, ang grader report ang magsisilbing class record. When you open your class record, makikita mo na doon lahat ng pangalan ng estudyante mo, yung participants mo, or yung mga name ng students, and all the necessary records na i-record natin or yung performance ng bata na i-record natin doon po sa ating class record. Ito po yun. Instead of our class record, grader report po tayo sa ating virtual class. Okay po. So, as you can see, nakikita na po natin dito yung grade item and the category na ginawa po natin while during sa pag-set up po ng ating gradebook. So we have here the first quarter. Under first quarter, we have the summative test number 1 and we have the summative test number 2 and we also have the first quarter total. Okay po? After po niyan, we have the second quarter, third quarter, and the fourth quarter. So makikita po natin walang laman si second quarter, third quarter, and fourth quarter. Total lang po siya dumiretso. Ayan. Sa total po na makikita natin, we have here, yung total po na yan po, dyan po natin makikita yung grade ng bata for that specific quarter. Let's say, for example, sa first quarter, dito po natin makikita yung grade ng bata for the entire quarter ng for the entire first quarter. So, let's say, for example, we have here summative test number 1. Let's say, i-edit ko lang po ito. Edit lang po natin. So, ayan. Bibigyan po natin siya ng grade. Dito po sa single view natin yan. Dito po tayo sa single view na redirect. Ayan po. Let's say, for example, para makita lang po natin yung kalalabasan kung may grade po yung bata. So, let's say, for example, this one is 87. This one is 92. And this one is 90. And we can also give feedback dun po sa ating mga estudyante. Okay po. Ayan, makikita po yan ng mga estudyante po natin dun po sa end naman po ng gradebook ng estudyante. Okay po. Kapag may recitation, let's say for example, napag-desisyonan mong plus 5 lahat, or sabihin natin, this specific grade item is para doon sa plus points na binigay mo. We can perform the bulk insert. Okay? So, pwede tayong mamili instead of empty grades. Kapag empty grades, yung empty grades lang po dito sa field na ito, yung i-fill out niya. While kapag all grades, kahit magkakaiba yung may mga grades na dyan or what, babaguhin niya. And we also have here the insert value. Let's say for example, lahat ay napag-desisyonan ng 98. Click po natin yung save and makikita po natin yung magiging result ng ating ginawa once nag-load na po yung ating page. So, nag-load na po yung ating page and then nakita po natin yung result. Grades were set for 3 items. Ibig sabihin, 3 grade item po yung nabago. Okay? And click continue. As you can see, makikita po natin dito yung 98 na grade na binigay natin sa bata. Okay po. Now, balik po tayo doon sa ating pong grader report. So, we are here sa single view. Balik po tayo sa grader report. Ayan po. Dito po makikita na po natin yung grade na binigay po natin sa bata, which is 98. Okay po. And we also have here the summative test number 2. Ito pong pencil icon na ito po yung magre-redirect. Once na-click po natin to or i-click po natin tong icon na ito, i-redirect po niya tayo dito sa single view. Ayan po. Natin ilalagay 92, 94, and we also have 96. Click save. Grades were set for 3 items. 3 grade items were edited or nabago. So, ayan po. Balik po tayo sa grader report since nabago na po yung mga grades. As we can see here, ayan po. We have here the 98 and the 92 for summative test number 1 and summative test number 2 respectively. Now, kung mapapansin po natin, dear teachers, we have the 190 as the total for Colleen Nepomucena's grade, which is hindi dapat yon yung makikita ng ating estudyante sa kanilang gradebook. So, dito na po papasok yung magiging formula po natin sa ating pong gradebook. Para po ma-edit natin yung ating first quarter total, yung pinaka-total po natin for this quarter, atin pong gagawin. Punta po tayo sa taas ng ating page. And then makikita po natin yung may button po doon sa upper right side under ng ating username. Makikita po natin yung turn editing on. Click lang po natin and wait for it to. So we have here na fields na pwede natin i-edit. Ayan, dun sa single view, kanina pwede natin i-edit dun yung grade ng bata. Pero dito pwede din po natin siyang i-edit. Pero magmamark po siya ng, I think that's colored orange kapag in-edit natin. Anyway, let's proceed po dun sa ating computation ng grade. Kung papansin po natin, makikita po natin yung parang maliit na calculator icon. Click lang po natin yon. And we have here the calculation field po natin. Sa ating pong pag-calculate or ng grade ng bata, that applies to all, first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, and the final grade of our students, please be mindful that there is a correct way, may tamang way tayo para ma-edit po yung or makalculate po yung grade ng bata. Or may sinusunod po tayong formula para ma-edit po yung grade. Click po natin tong help with calculation na icon para mabasa po natin yung information that we need in order for us to calculate or use the formula para makalculate yung grade ng bata. Here's the thing, dear teachers, before we proceed sa calculation ng grade ng bata or sa paggawa ng ating formula, ang first natin na gagawin prior sa paggawa ng formula is yung ating pong ID numbers. Itong ID numbers na tinatawag, teachers, hindi po ito yung identification numbers ng mga bata. But rather, ito po yung parang pagkakakilanlan or yung identifier ng isang quiz or ng isang grade item or ng isang grade category natin dito sa ating gradebook. So, hindi po ito yung identification po ng bata, but rather, this is an identifier or para ma-identify natin yung specific grade item or specific category sa ating pong gradebook. So, we have here ID numbers. Wala po tayong ID numbers sa ating course total. Lagay po natin na first Q grade. Ang ating pong ID numbers, pwede pong maiksi lang. Ayun po, parang ano lang po siya, representation. Grade, or yung grade ng bata. Ito po, gradebook. Ito po yung final grade. Quiz 1. First Q. First Quiz 1. 1Q1, 1Q2. Ayan po. Say for example, bakit ko nilagyan ng 1 prior to letter Q para maging identifier that is first quarter, or pwede po natin siyang lagyan ng first. Ayan, first. Second. Ayan po. And hayaan lang po muna natin yung second quarter, third, and fourth. Let's click add ID numbers sa ibaba po ng ating page. And there you go. So, as you can see, dear teachers, yung ating pong grade item, yung ating pong ID numbers ay meron po tayong bracket. Ayan. Yung bracket po na yan, dear teachers, ay kasama sa magiging formula po natin. Okay? Ito po ang by the way, don't worry, if a-flash po sa ating screen yung mga formulas needed in order for us to calculate the grade of our students per quarter and also para po sa ating final grade. Okay po? So, hintayin po natin, naka-flash po sa ating mga screen ang ating mga formulas. Given po the formulas, yung mga pinakita pong formula sa ating screen, by using those formulas, magka-come up tayo sa ganito pong result. So, ang edit lang po natin for this gradebook for the first quarter is yung first first row, which is Colin Nepomuceno, and nag-result po tayo sa 95. So, ayan po, and turn editing off po muna natin. Ayan, so makikita na po natin yung ating grade, or makikita na po natin yung grade po ng bata for the first quarter. And same applies po sa second quarter, third quarter, and fourth quarter. So, ayun po, and for the final grade, naipakita na din po yung formula natin kanina po sa ating pong screen. And that ends our discussion for Gradebook. Thank you po for this wonderful opportunity. God bless po.